If you want to grab our men's lifestyle supplement and Male Advantage ebook, all links are in the bio. You know, and guys think about it like, oh, I'll ride past in a Ferrari and I'll put a fucking middle finger up to everybody who ever doubted me, whatever. There's an element of that, okay? It feels good. We're human. I understand that. But the main element is that it's the most fail-proof way of becoming successful because... Hello guys and welcome back to another video. Now, anybody wondering, is he going to wear this for the whole of the summer? Yes, I probably will. I bought like 5 of them. They're so comfortable. I'm never too hot and that's what I like. I don't like being uncomfortable, okay? So no comments about that. It's been a while, hasn't it, guys? I haven't been on camera like this for a while. I've been doing, obviously, the podcast and whatnot, which is cool. Filming at the gym and stuff like that. It's pretty nice, actually, but it's so good to get back to this. The basics, the foundation of this business. I feel like when I'm talking to the camera, I'm talking to my mates, just kind of discussing male issues around a table. It's just, I love it, man. It's so cool. Like when this business is a massive streaming platform and whatever else is surrounded by it, and it's making hundreds of millions. Yeah, like the background might be different. I might be in like some penthouse with a lovely view, or like a 12-car garage or something like that. But nothing's going to change. I'm still going to do these videos because it's just so... It's therapeutic in a way. I just love sitting here and just talking to you guys. I just think it helps me, it helps you lot. It's fantastic. So I'll never stop doing that, okay? And if I ever do, remind me, because I don't think I will, but if I ever do, remind me, because this is the backbone of the business. This should never stop. If it has to be done in a different form of media, fair enough, but something like this needs to happen on at least 3 times a week, okay? Now, the topic of discussion for this video is talking about the male advantage, and the way I want to talk about the male advantage is the reason I promote it so much is it's the safest possible route that a man can take in life in order to become successful and have the life that he wants, in my opinion. But it's almost undeniable. It's almost undeniable, okay? It's like, here's a great example. If I gave you a science exam and I gave you 1 week to prepare for it, you'd probably fail. If I gave you a science exam and said you've got 10 years to prepare, hoping that the answers don't change during that time frame or new science doesn't come out, so I got a bit of hay fever today, then during that 10-year period, you're probably going to pass the exam, okay? Because you've got more time to study, it's just easier to do. Well, it's no different with your life, like building your life and putting everything in place. If you give yourself more time to figure shit out, to put the puzzle pieces in place, you're probably very, very likely to reach the top. You know, if, for example, this is what so many guys do. They get to like 25 and they start panicking. They start looking at their friends. Oh, he's on more than me. She even earns more than me. That's worrying. I've got 10 grand in the bank. I need 100 grand. You know, at 25, I thought I'd be a millionaire already. I need a car. My friend just bought a new car. I feel like I'm behind in life. How am I ever going to attract women? I've got to spend more money on myself. I need more clothes. I'm going to start saving for a mortgage because if I don't have a mortgage by 30, I'm a bum. I've done nothing with my life. This is what guys do. This is how men think. But they need to understand, as I've told you guys before, that's the female narrative. If a woman gets to 30 and she hasn't accomplished anything, you know, in success, it doesn't matter too much because men still find a woman attractive, but she'll still feel good about herself. Of course, it's personal. Everyone wants that. But if a woman hasn't accomplished husbands, kids, settled home, you know, those sort of things, she'll feel like shit. And somewhat rightly so, because she's losing her beauty and sex appeal day by day. She's got less chance of meeting the man of her dreams. And it doesn't mean, of course, men will want women. If women are 80 and a man is 90, the man will want to fuck the woman. They just get away with it like that, okay? But if a woman is 30, a high-value man who's also 30 that she wants, he'll want a 23-year-old. Like, her pool shrinks as she gets older for that reason. There'll always be men available, but the high-quality ones start dropping off, okay? Because they just want younger women. Whereas for men, that narrative doesn't hold true. Like a man can have the worst 20s of his life, get to 38 years old, suddenly become the king, take over, have all the money in the world, attracting all the women. Everyone wants to be him. He has the best assets. Like it's nothing new, okay? It's happened millions of times before. And if you go down the kind of I'm 25, I need to panic route, I need to be successful by 30, and you follow that female narrative and you don't have any patience, well, then you're giving yourself a 5-year window to figure it out. That goes one of two ways. Pyramid scheme, doing a job you hate. Okay, that's usually what it is. That's the kind of guys who are doing scratch cards and lotto tickets, and they're joining Herbalife, you know, and stuff like that, and they're just trying to sell fucking everything. They're trying to buy like real estate. They're joining every real estate course on the planet, you know, and being like, this guy said he made $1 million in 2 weeks from borrowing $100,000 from the bank. I'm gonna do the same. It's like most of these guys are fraudulent as fuck. Okay, just do the maths. Just do the maths. Like it does. You know, you go and buy a property right now, and if you can buy a property outright, they're great. If you go and get a deposit on a house, whatever, and you put down 20%, and then you rent it out, and you think you're gonna be rich, I encourage you, go and do the maths and look at your actual profit. It's like £200 a month. Like you could have 10 properties, it still wouldn't make much of a difference. You're still not rich, okay? Unless you buy houses outright and you make like $2-3 a month off each one, it's not going to make much of a difference, okay? But you got those guys that are kind of like chasing that down, and that's what they'll do. They'll do pyramid schemes. They'll do selling on Amazon, you know, this sort of shit. Oh, I heard this new thing. Oh, I heard this new thing. Oh, this new thing. Oh, these guys have made loads of money. I'm going to get into crypto, but I have no idea because I know that, yeah, 20 grand on Bitcoin. That's the mindset it will breed, because you'll want to be successful by 30. The male advantage, the ethos that I kind of promote, you know, a lot of guys think, oh, it's great because I get to shag all the women in the world. Oh, it's great because I'm going to have models bouncing on my dick. This is why this channel is 18 plus, okay, or 16 plus. That's why one reason why I can't put ads on as well. You know, and guys think about it like, oh, I'll ride past in a Ferrari and I'll put a fucking middle finger up to everybody who ever doubted me, whatever. There's an element of that, okay? It feels good. We're human. I understand that. But the main element is that it's the most fail-proof way of becoming successful, because a guy who's 25 trying to be successful by 30 and rushing things is going to make poor decisions. A guy who is 25 and planning to be successful at 38, okay, which is still so young. If you can be a multi-millionaire at 38, guys, you've won. You've conquered the system. You've just changed the game. Do you know what it would feel like to be 40, 50, 60 years old, 70 years old, never have to worry about money ever again? Like 40, 50 years of your life with just fucking feet up, pina coladas on the beach with a model. Yeah, it's possible, okay? If you're 38, of course, like some 25, 26-year-old girl. But here's the thing, okay? I'm going to teach you a lesson. 21-year-old women, 19-year-old, like that kind of young range, they're a little bit immature, okay? They've not worked. Everything's fallen in their lap. They've had everything they've ever wanted. They're not used to waiting for things. So they get to a club and the guys are like, bouncers, come on, yeah, you come in. You girls are beautiful, you come in. They get to about 25, 26. They're still beautiful, okay? Probably, in my opinion, in their peak, because they're a bit more intelligent. They're more fun to be around, in my opinion, because you can actually have a good conversation with them. At the age I am now, like 28, I'd rather have like 22-year-old women. But when I'm like in my 30s, yeah, like 24, 25, 26-year-old women is ideal. But when they get to that age, they've probably done like 3, 4, 5, 6 years in an office, and they've realized how fucking annoying it is, and they hate it. So when they see a 38-year-old man who's conquered life, yeah, it's a great option. Oh, he's on a beach, he's inviting you to retire. Yeah, they don't say no at that point, okay? It's easy for these 19-year-old girls to be like, I'm not interested in you for your money. Trust me, go and do 5, 6 years in an office that you fucking hate, walk into work in the rain, you can't pay your bills. Then come and tell me, you know, if you're interested. It's a different game, okay? But that guy who's kind of dedicated from 25 to 28, 13 years, okay, maybe he's been working on a business or in his 9-to-5 job for longer, and he's dedicated to that, and his idea is to become MD or a millionaire entrepreneur, or, you know, just whatever your thing is, or he wants a big investment portfolio. It's fucking far easier to do if you give yourself a longer length of time. So I used to watch a lot of Tai Lopez when I was like 18 years old, and it was very useful back then, I must admit, very useful. As much as people give him shit, he's a logical guy. I like the way he used to think. used to break a lot of like real world concepts down and make it, you know, logical. And yeah, I liked his stuff back then. I think, I don't know what he's doing now. I stopped watching it like 21, but he was pretty cool. And he always said, if we end up living for like 300 years, everybody's going to eventually figure life out. You know, if the average human lives to 300 years old, eventually everyone's going to go, oh, I know what to do now. Like, first 100 years, maybe you fuck up, and then you'll figure it out, and then, you know, you're successful, you've got what you want. Okay, I've figured the game out now. This is what I should have done. But you had time to figure it out. The normal life length of humans now is about 80, and you see people now at 50, 60 years old, and they go, fuck, I know what I should have done. But they go, oh, it's also too late, because I've got ties now, I've got responsibilities, I've got things to pay for. You see this all the time, don't you? You know, people who are even 40 years old that have got kids, mortgage, wife, all this stuff. If you start adding those things to your life, you seriously prevent your ability to, number one, fail, because risk is not really a thing. If you fail, you can't get back in the game very easily. And number two, you're cutting off your best assets, which is time and money. That's what you need. Now, we can always get more money, whatever, you know, and everyone can figure that out. But it's the time aspect that I think in humanity is the hardest thing. And that is why if you do stay a little bit patient and realize that men can peak later than women, or do peak later than women, and if you are 25 as a man and you're going, fuck, I'm nowhere in life, I've got to figure this out, what can I do? Instead of panicking and rushing it, because your decision making is going to be terrible, deploy a long-term mindset. It's what I did. I had a 10-year plan from like 26 to 36, which is going to culminate in the streaming platform having live sports. Okay, that'll be like the final tick of the box. And then I might just fuck off and travel the world for like 3-4 years or whatever and enjoy myself, meet a woman, whatever, you know, settle down, do that sort of thing. I don't know. I'll see how I feel at the time. I'm definitely going to travel the world and just vlog it all and just show fucking experiences and whatnot. That's going to be cool. But I had a 10-year plan to get to that point. Because of that, I'm able to make these long-term decisions, long-term decision making. So when everyone's like, do you not have FOMO? It's summer right now. Right now it's boiling in the UK. This weekend, everyone's going to be out again, you know, getting drunk. Oh, it should be really fun. The Euros are on, you know, the football Euros. Everyone's going to be in the pubs enjoying themselves. Do you want to come out? No, because I'm not rushing it. I don't. Oh, there's so many women out. Yeah, I do. Like, I've got a long-term plan. It's not right now that I'm not trying to cash in today. I'm not trying to get married and have kids and be a multi-millionaire tomorrow. Like, I just don't see that as a sustainable method. And the only way to really do that method, like, people say, oh, I know a guy who's 22 who's a multi-millionaire. Yeah, you probably do, okay? But this whole video might get like 5,000 views in the first week. It's usually what these videos are doing right now. Maybe 5 people in this whole video will be a millionaire by the time they're 30, or the success level that they wanted to be at. You know, they reached all their goals by 30. It's very rare. It basically means none of you are going to do it, okay? And I don't mean that to be horrible. Like, I certainly won't reach the height of my goals by 30, and I'm happy because it gives me something to fucking strive for and look forward to. It's nothing worse than somebody being like 44 with nothing to live for. That's horrible, okay? I don't want that. I certainly don't want that. But for the average person, you don't have mad LeBron James skills. You don't have Deontay Wilder level knockout power. Okay, you don't have these gifts. You don't have Elon Musk level intelligence. You're not even 200k per year straight out of university at Google as a coder. Like, most people aren't going to do that, okay? There's the odd outlier that can do it. By the time they hit 30, they've been on 100 grand a year for 10 years. They've made some good investments. They're a multi-millionaire. They've got rich parents. Like, there are anomalies to the rule. But for the average man, there's only one real fail-safe route to success. And that is that patient male advantage route. Because if you try and rush it to 30 and say, I need to become successful, I need to make this happen, I need to do it, your decision making will be very short-term. You will be selecting things that you shouldn't select. You'll be saying, okay, I need to put this in place. I need to chase this. And when you start chasing and forcing, the cracks start to show. Whereas if you say, okay, I'm going to be patient. I know that men have time. And this is why I promote the male advantage so much. Okay, guys? is that it's almost the only guaranteed route to reaching the top as a man. Because, like I said, you just don't have those skills in place at the start. You don't have the assets, the money, whatever. It's just hard. So if you give yourself a longer length of time and you make decisions based on that longer length of time, when you arrive at the end of that kind of plan, that 15-year plan, if you would, from like 20 to 35, it's very likely that you would have figured it out. Like I said, if we all live to 400 years old, it's very likely we'd all figure it out. Well, a guy at 20, you're going to be successful by 30. Oh, it's going to be tough. I've got to figure it out in 10 years. Okay, that's pressure on me. I've got to make decisions quick. I've got to do fucking something that I don't want to do. I've got to force it. I've got to ask for money I've got to put ads on everything. I'm not sure if it's that sustainable. Whereas if you said to a guy at 20, you got to be successful by 38, I'm pretty sure with an extra 8 years, that guy's going to have 18 years instead of 10. He's going to get a lot closer. This is what I'm saying. Like, not everybody's going to make it. Not everyone's going to be a billionaire, millionaire, whatever. It's going to be a lot easier for you to figure it out because you could fuck up for that first 10 years and then continue with the game because you don't have kids. You don't have a car on finance. You don't have a mortgage. You don't have a wife banging on at you. In terms of like bills, we got to have a new kitchen. I want a new hat. Like, there's pressures, okay? There's pussy pressures. Of course there is. Like, we all fall for it. We all want to make our woman happy. It's just male nature. But if that guy's got 18 years, I would put a lot more money on that guy making it and getting to the heights of male life and enjoying it the way men are supposed to enjoy it. I would put a lot more money on that guy. That would be my gamble. If somebody said red or black, I'm going on that side. I'm going, that guy's going to make it. Because he's just got longer. He's just got more time to figure it out and do it. And that is why I promote the male advantage. It's probably the only guaranteed way to have a much better life. Because the other way doesn't work. Rushing stuff, kids, mortgage, marriage, all that shit. It's probably the most guaranteed way to be broke, it's the most guaranteed way to struggle, or struggle more than you should do. Now, you can do those things later on in life, whatever. The other guy could do them too. But it's probably the most guaranteed way to struggle. Whereas my methodology with the male advantage, it just gives you so much time to figure it out. And then when you do, you can have all that other stuff anyway. You can go and get married if you want, get a mortgage, have kids and whatnot. It's up to you when you do that. But by giving yourself that longer stretch of time, you're just more likely to figure it out. You're just more likely to make 20 mistakes. Oh, I'm figuring it out now. Okay, things are starting to get put in order. I'm 32. 33, I just had my most successful year. 34, just made 100,000. 35, I'm putting some fucking points on the board. We just had our biggest growth year. 36, multi-millionaire. But without kind of giving yourself that longer stretch of time, it probably won't happen. It probably won't happen. You just got to give yourself those extra years. And by giving yourself those extra years, like I said, your decision making will be more long term. It'll be better. It'll pay off in the long run. You're going to have less ties. You're going to be able to, you could go bankrupt, lose all your money and get back in the game and keep going again. Like I said, that's what it is, guys. It's just more time. If we all live to 200, we probably all figure it out and be successful. If you give yourself more time, you probably got more chance of figuring it out and becoming successful. To be honest, it's not rocket science, okay? It's really not rocket science. I've just found a way that matches the male timeline. We peak later, things can come together for us. We're lucky as men. We are lucky as men. I love being a man. It's hard at the start. You put that work in, things get better. We got 10 extra years on women to really figure it out and put things together. If you use them to your advantage, you enter the male advantage and things really, really come together. It's pretty much the name of the game. It's not really anything special. You just have more time to figure it out, and you're making decisions for the long term, which is always a better way. Like, there's nothing stopping any guy watching this right now who's 27 years old, dangerous age, because you're going, oh, I'm 27, oh, I need to put some stuff in place, oh, no, shit, what am I going to do with my life? Nothing to stop a guy who's in that scenario getting 10 grand and putting it into Ethereum. Look, it's not financial advice, I'm just saying, like, there's nothing to stop you doing something like that. And then just sitting on it for 10 years and cashing that out at 37, even like 35 in 8 years' time. I'd be shocked if you weren't a millionaire. Put it that way. But there's nothing to stop you doing that, because as men we have, longer time frame to figure it out. Whereas as a woman, if she did that and then that was her entire game, she gets to 37, she's a multi-millionaire, or 37, she's a multi-millionaire. It's good, but she still might not find a husband. Whereas there's a man who's 37, who's a multi-millionaire, line them up. The cure will be around the corner. Just keep yourself in shape. It's a piece of piss. But this is why I promote the male advantage, okay? It's not just for the enjoyment side of things. It's because I just don't think there's a more guaranteed route to getting the life that you want as a man than the one that I promote. You know, the other ones are full of dangers and whatever and what ifs and whatnot. The one where I give you an extra 10 years, I just trust that everyone's going to figure it out by then, as long as they're putting the work in. It just makes sense to me, guys.
If you want to grab our men's lifestyle supplement and male advantage ebook, all links are in the bio.